forecheck. The Bruins rim it around and get it out of their zone. Jordan Spence back for it. Hands it off. Kopitar ahead. LaFerriere into the zone. LaFerriere can't get around the defender Carlo. And the punt back neutral zone. They're struggling right now. We talked about that a couple of moments ago, but as far as size and reach, they can do the job that way. The first two games, they've scored 10, they've given up 10. Well, they've got the goaltending settled. They're swinging some of this long-term deal this last week. Played the other night here. Byfield, whenever.
Celebrini on IR. Celebrini? Yeah. All right, ready to rip. Folks, welcome into another edition of Hockey Night in Scottsdale alongside Bob Gucci. I am Jay Swish. Right now, Gooch, we are dialed in. This is a 10 a.m. tilt out west featuring the LA Kings and the home team, the Boston Bruins. Jeremy Swayman back in the net, 64 reasons, 64 and a hook reasons to be back in that cage. And we got a hell of a tilt right here right now, fellow. LA Kings supporting their new look, their new jerseys. Obviously missing a guy like Drew Doughty tonight. He's on injury reserve. But, hey, man, we got a great matchup here. That Postris kid, he's back in the lineup. So the 51 car back in the mix. I believe he's playing on the third line with Frederick and Brazeau. So, fella, good to see your chin. We are back for the people, by the people, for a Saturday matinee action here, fella.
Yeah, I'm surprised this game isn't blacked out, but it's always fun watching a team like Boston and LA play each other. Two cities that are pretty cool. I mean, LA is not that cool right now, but the Kings, I always like watching the Kings. The Bruins are the Bruins. So a little East-West matchup here. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Swayman. Hopefully he's dialed in because what's-his-face didn't look too hot last game. I didn't think it was all his fault in the first couple periods there, but towards the end of the game, it's like, all right, man, you got to stop something. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and a lot of new faces for the LA Kings, obviously acquiring guys like Tanner Jeannot. They have Warren Fogle, who came over from Edmonton, and back in the fold, Trevor Lewis, obviously back there for, going to play 1,000 games and probably end his career with the Kings. But one guy I'm looking at and one just thing I'm looking at for Boston is just check out this new revitalized decor. I mean, every guy in their team seems like they're over 6'2", 6'3". So looking at this squad, they're bigger, they're heavier. And one guy, Madison, Wisconsin native Mason Laura, I know I talked to him a little bit or talked about him last year during the playoffs. He had that sick tuck in Florida when he kind of came on the left side and just went cheddar is always better over Bobrovsky. So, Bob, right now, if the people are following along, 1651 and counting as Marchand massages the pill and kind of brings it in and finds Chucky Mack, who sends a seeing eye shot just wide. So, yeah, fella, good tilt here. LA Kings, they're young. Obviously, no Doughty. A couple of those defensemen back there, Brant Clark, Burroughs back in the lineup, Spence. Some of these guys they have a lot of skill, but I think I want to see how they defend, especially against a veteran team like the Boston Bruins. We got a penalty here for.
What is this? We got a penalty coming up? Yeah, you know what sucks, man, is the package that they gave up for Pierre-Luc Dufourda. I think that they gave away key pieces there. Velarde, Iafallo. I was actually a big fan of Iafallo's game, and I think there was something else in that package too, a pick or something like that.
Yeah, there was.
That's one that – let's see the penalty here. I mean, that's just a bad call.
The little corkscrew.
I'm calling a spade. I don't see the –
Yeah,
he put his hand on his back,
A little bit under the hands, but again, we're going to go to the power play. A rookie, especially this kid, Ferrier. What's his name? LaFerriere.
Alex Lafreniere played for Harvard.
Yeah, Harvard, third round, 83rd overall in 2020. But, yeah, you make a good point. That trade, man, that was a tough trade back in, 2 years ago for Pierre-Luc Dubois. But as Trevor Moore crashes in that, 31 goals last year for Moore out of Denver. This power play, though, I mean, they've been together for, a decent amount of time, at least three of these guys, right? So I like Chucky McAvoy, obviously up there. They've tried Lindholm in years past, but ultimately I think the 73 car is the best option as the right shot for this power play, sliding them over. Just sliding over biscuits and gravy right over to David Pastrnak.
Yeah, the Marchand, Pastrnak, McAvoy. I mean, Zaka's got a sneaky good shot. But yeah, dude, I'm interested to see if Boston can get on the board early here because I have the over. I also have the Boston money line. But guys, if you're watching along too, we're a little bit delayed. We'll try to tell you guys when where we're at. timestamp wise. That's what I was just going to do, but they went to a replay. Good play by McAvoy. Okay, we're at the 15:45, 15:44, 15:43 mark. If you want to pause your TV and sync up with us.
Yeah, we're 110 and counting on this power plays. We get a look at the second unit featuring Charlie Coyle. We got Morgan, Cheeky, Geeky, Lindholm with the white spray on his twig, and I believe who is the other guy in this unit? Oh, Brazeau. Okay, yep. And then Trent Frederick, wow, getting some power play time. The St. Louis native played at University of Wisconsin as Charlie Coyle brings the puck over the blue line and just gets intercepted as Burrows shovel shit just outside the blue line, and that is going to be offsides, folks. You cannot grab a pill on the other side of the blue line. Right now, 15-11. Bobby Gucci, Jay Swish getting a look at a couple of the goalies. Darcy Kemper back into the fold with the LA Kings coming over from the Washington Capitals.
Would you consider Kemper underrated?
I don't know. He's okay. Like when they won the cup, no offense to Darcy Kemper, he wasn't a big part of that team. A lot of times the goalies, when they win, is a big part of the team. For me, when they won with Colorado, that team was so nasty. All he really had to make was the save in front of him. You know what I mean? He never had to steal a game per se, Bob. He was just kind of one of those guys that made the saves you needed to make. It wasn't anything spectacular. I go back to Binnington in 2019 when he kind of stole the show. A lot of these goalies, a lot of the times, even Aiden Hill, how well he played. For me, Darcy Kemper, when he was in Colorado, he didn't do anything spectacular. It was just enough.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. A little bit of a sloppy power play here, but let's see if they can get something going. At least a shot on net. I think that was blocked in front.
These matinee games are always funny because you show up to the rink, there's no morning skate. You kind of have a couple eggs. You maybe have some avocado toast, and then bam, right in your jaw, you're playing a game. And it's like you're almost like shaking the cobwebs off. You get up early, but you don't want to get up too early because, again, you want to stick to a similar routine. So these guys, they probably got up at 8 o'clock, 9, had their breakfast, and then it's right to the sheet. So it's like right in your jaw, and the first time you're feeling the pill that day is in warm-up versus maybe going to the rink, having a morning skate, having a nap, then having some pasta, no pun intended, and then getting to the rink, Rob, with a snack, a couple of espressos. Right now, it's just kegs and eggs, wake up, in your face. These people in Boston, they've been drinking Irish car bombs all morning, and Guinness, right? So it's just right there. It's hockey in your face, and that's the best thing about a matinee because afterwards, Boston, I'm not sure when they play next, or LA, like you could get drunker quicker, theoretically.
Boston people love getting drunk on matinees. It just buzzes there. Outside the Garden before the game, people are talking loud. They're drinking. They're drunk from last night still. The bags are out. They're doing coke. It's a great city to day drink in. It's one of my favorite cities to day drinking of all time. There's a good block, too. You can tell the game's a little bit sloppy already. The puck's bouncing around a lot. I don't know if that's just me or the ref's taking a spill right there. I don't know what the hell's going on, but you're right. Yeah, they need to get settled in here.
Yeah, it's early for everyone. I mean, it's early for the ice crew. It's early for us. It's just right in your chin, right in your grill. And one guy I'm looking at right now here on the sheet as we're at the 13:21 marker. Folks, load up that chat. Get at us again. We're going to go to a commercial break as they always do right around the 13-minute marker. So we'll take questions. Where are you coming in from? Where is your chin? Are you a little hung, fella? But one guy that just got off the ice or is still on the ice is fourth-line center for the LA Kings, and that's Alex Turcotte. Now, he's battled a lot of concussion issues. He's been in the minors, a.k.a. the Jungles. We're going to have another penalty. Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Brazil went into a 10. He went to the boards like a 10-stack of pins there with Joel Edmondson. But Turcotte's a guy that's had 3 or 4 concussions. He's battled through it. He's back in the lineup in the show, former 5th overall pick. Let's see what he can do. I don't know if he's going to live up to the hype of a 5th overall pick, but we'll see on that, folks. Speaking of what we'll see, let's get to the chat here. Folks, do we have anything? Where are you at? What are you doing today on this Saturday matinee? Are you getting drunk? Are you at brunch? Are you at home shaking it off? Have you tugged one out yet? What are you doing?
Tuke in the Scottsdale heat is belligerent. It's also 65 degrees in here. We keep it cold because when we're running our fucking mouths, we sweat a lot. So, yeah, I do have the toque on. Usually I went no hat last time, but this time it is fucking cold in here. It's early in the morning. Just getting the old noggin started here. Swish, is that an Irish?
Nope, that is actually just an all-natural 87 unleaded premium gasoline. 3 shots of espresso right to my chin because, again, it is 10 a.m. here, and we are just getting started. So,
off-topic Swish, what the hell is wrong with the Sioux? We're just preseason, and it doesn't matter losing to Augustana.
Na. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've talked to people in and around North Dakota and Grand Forks. Obviously not thrilled with that. But at the end of the day, it is exhibition. we'll see what they do tonight. They're playing Providence. It is the Hall of Fame game. A lot of alumni in town. So if they lose this one, yeah, I might hit a little bit of a panic and make a call into those guys over there and say, what the fuck is going on? But, yeah, doesn't count. Fresh slate. Hopefully it didn't ruin their confidence. Again, a lot of new faces up there. A lot of high picks coming in. Pressure, maybe outside pressures they were feeling. But, again, you can't get stage fright when you're playing at the Palace of Pain. So hopefully they show up tonight. They got Providence at home, fella.
All right, back to the game, folks. We got Brant Clark for high sticking in the frickin' box here, and I kind of missed that swish. Let's see what happened here.
Yeah, so Clarkie gets his lumber up high. Oh, yeah.
Oh, going for the puck, yeah.
What, like, why? I always talk about this, especially with my bro. Like, how are guys? What are you that unaware with your stick? High sticking is like, come on.
It might just be a reflex, but you got to, if you're in the league, you got to be more disciplined than that.
That's one shoulder check and see what's going on. It's not like that was a fast moving play.
Right.
Like, how are you just like, you're just waving your stick? I don't know. Not inexcusable, but I just think dumb and like awareness. But Brant Clark, former 8th overall pick, obviously getting his feet wet in the league. Going to be playing more minutes now that Drew Doughty is out for a significant amount of time. Again, Bob, we're getting a look at the first unit here with the Boston Bruins right now. 12:43 remaining in the first period. Again, Hockey Night in Scottsdale will be in Grand Forks on the 26th of October during the Boston University Series at Joe Black. So if you're in the area, you're in Minnesota, you're in North Dakota, maybe even Winnipeg, a.k.a. Las Vegas, please get at us. We will be there. Hockey Night in Scottsdale, again, bringing you coverage you can't get anywhere else. Bob, right now, the Boston Bruins, one shot on that last power play. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if it was just sloppy, right? Let's see if they can get in sync here. Maybe get a little momentum. They don't necessarily have to score. Obviously, they would take that, but I think getting some momentum and getting this power play started early is really big for them here.
Doesn't look good, but another thing is the Kings are being extremely aggressive on the PK here. Like, they are just, here we go. We have a one-on-one.
Jesus, Warren Fogle.
Warren Fogel's a King?
Yeah, signed a 3-year ticket for $10.5 in the offseason coming over from Edmonton.
Look at how aggressive the Kings are being. Even when the Bruins had the puck in their zone, they're just attacking the guy with the puck, and I kind of like it. I mean, it's working out right now. Boston's completely on their fucking heels.
And especially during a matinee game when you're not as sleepy, but you're maybe just a little lethargic. Like, it takes a little bit to get going. As a player, you know these matinee games are going to be a little sloppy early just because it's hockey at the highest level right in your chin. So it takes a little bit, the speed. I like that aggressive approach, honestly. You made a great point there, but I like that especially early because make these guys make 2 or 3 passes right in a row on the tape. And so far, Boston hasn't been able to do that.
No, this is the first time I've really had it settled down here.
Oh, my God.
If that gets through.
Do you like that Brazos game? Do you like the big fella? Like, to me, I mean, he was a kid that actually started in the East Coast League when I was in Toronto. He was playing for the Newfoundland Growlers. We call him up like every other week, and he would play like one game, and then they would send him down. I'm like, it's pretty crazy to me. I mean, again, guys get better, things work out, but it's a pretty amazing road from where he's at right now. I mean, he was in Providence on an American League deal like 2 years ago.
I mean, full disclosure, I knew nothing about him. All I know is that when I looked up and that he's a 26-year-old that has about 20 games and a guy that just wouldn't give up on the dream. A lot of people by then is be like, look, I'm not going to make it here. Let me go overseas to Europe and make a couple $100,000. But yeah, man, it's good to see a guy like that make the team out of camp as a 26-year-old that has pretty much no NHL experience. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about him, but good for him. I mean, that's that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he came up last year from Providence. I do believe he started the year on an American League deal. They inked him to an NHL deal. Then obviously, played down the stretch, played a little bit in the playoffs, and contributed, had a few goals, and looked pretty good. And it seems like Jim Montgomery really likes him and trusts his game as a big, skilled fellow with a decent set of paws. I mean, I think maybe he could play a little bit nastier. I don't know if he plays with a ton of pace, but he does have the paws. He seems like a smart player, a heady player. So, yeah, we'll monitor his game as we get back to the action here, folks. 9:42 remaining here in the first period. Again, Hockey Night Scottsdale bringing you some coverage you can't get anywhere else as we're getting a live look at the third pairing of the Boston Bruins, kind of flipping some burgers back there with Andrew Peeke and Mason Lohrei. Mason Lohrei is a kid going to be in his second year, played 41 games last year, had 13 points, I believe. That's just off the top of my chin, but I think that checks out. 4-9 for them. Brad Marchand coming off a couple surgeries. Let's see how he's moving out there early. Looks decent. Again, these early matches, you never know. So,
yeah, everything's just a little bit off, a little bit slow. Brad Marchand, I don't know how the hell he even made it in time for camp. I mean, he had an elbow issue, an oblique issue. And that's going to be offside. Those are issues that they take a long time to heal, especially the oblique, those core injuries. Those are extremely tough to come back from. Sometimes you almost want a broken bone over something like that just because it's so unpredictable. And, you have a core injury. You can't even whack your wife. You really have to just chill out and let that thing heal. But chat, if anyone has anything going, it's an early, slow start here. We got a quick minute commercial. We are going to pay attention to the chat. Swish live from Anaheim. What's the rule on laying some pipe on game day for NHLers? Is it a go or is it a no-go?
Laying some pipe on game day, yeah, depends who you are, right? Like some guys, you don't even tug. Some guys, you might try to whack a chick. I would say most guys probably aren't trying to get laid on a game day. Now, listen, if it's a later start, it's 8 p.m., you got maybe one of the members of your bullpen that you really like that lives in town. You hit her up. She comes over for a pregame nap. The next thing you know, you're a dude with a wrench. Something could happen. I know guys, I'm not going to name any names, that they've done that before. Sometimes the fact that all the guys, you'd stay on the same floor at the hotels. And sometimes you could maybe even hear that if you're an 802 and 804s, maybe getting it done on the other side of the wall. So, yeah, I just think that happens. We're guys at the end of the day. You whack sometimes before work. Yeah, it happens. So not sure what that's going to happen today, but yeah, I think anything is possible, my friend.
Yeah, I used to have a roommate, and I'm not going to name his name, but when I was playing in New Jersey, he would let it be known that he's going to go whack his own wrench before games. So if you were a roommate with him, he was jerking it in the bathroom. Extremely unsettling and a little bit weird. I guess I respect the honesty, but I personally just don't want to shower in a bathroom that my teammate was shooting ropes all over. But that was his pregame routine. He was a great player. I just wish he didn't say that. And that's information that I don't really need.
Yeah. Why are you telling me you're throwing frozen ropes all over this bathroom at a Courtyard by Marriott? That just maybe leave to yourself. But speaking of leaving it to yourself, last night or 2 nights ago, Anze Kopitar in Buffalo recorded a hat trick in the first game. The veteran of 1,300 matches, 1,374 matches.
So good.
Still getting it done. The Slovenian native, obviously with that tinted visor, it looked so crispy, so clean. But going to be interested to see how the LA Kings fare. Obviously a new coach, a new system, and they're getting away from that fucking boring 1-3-1, Rob. One guy, obviously, though, that got hurt in the preseason, it's going to hurt their chances early, is Drew Doughty. Now, on the right side, they're going with Spence, Burroughs, and Clark. Doughty plays roughly 25, 26 minutes a night. Going to be tough to munch those minutes, especially on the right side, as Charlie McAvoy makes a really nice escape play to elude pressure. He finds a streaking David Pastrnak, who kind of whacks into the middle of the ice. Is Big Z. I don't know why Zadorov wears number 91. If you're a big defenseman, isn't 91 meant for guys like Sergei Fedorov? Listen, I'm not telling you what number to wear here, right? But it's just at the end of the day, I don't know if I love 91 on a 6'6" defenseman with no boots.
Yeah, Russian guys, they're always just weird like that. They don't really live by the same set of rules. And I always talk about the billeting Russian guys that were on my billet team. They were all trying to whack the billet sister. And, for me, if I have a billet sister, and I'm not trying to talk about whacking right now during the broadcast, but that's kind of off limits, right? You have a family. They brought you into their home. You're playing hockey. You're on the road. They're cooking you meals. I'm not really going to try to whack their daughter. But
right.
Russian players and guys like Zadorov, I'm not saying they would do that, but they kind of live by a different set of rules. And maybe that's why he's wearing number 91.
Yeah. Listen, there's nothing wrong with texting your billet sister you up after a night with the fellas. But anyways, back to the game here, folks. 7:19 remaining here in the first frame. Mason Lohrei goes back for a puck as he is forechecked by Lee. Lee played his first National Hockey League game the other night. I believe he got on the action. He was an Ontario Reign product. Phil Low and Slow to Know, a guy in the league that comes through the middle of the ice with so much patience. He's always not a Selke nominee or a candidate.
He should be.
He's one of those guys that should be, because he plays so just not even poised, but I would say just aware on the defensive side. He always comes through the middle of the ice, right back for his defenseman. And as defenseman, when your center iceman touches the crease in terms of getting open and being an option just for that little 3 to 4 foot bump play. Speaking of bumps, anyways, that little 3 to 4 foot bump play, it's just you're able to exit so much quicker because Deneau is always there. Now, the walls in the NHL are always clogged up. You know what I mean? Guys rimming pucks, it's not going to work out. But that middle of the ice, those soft areas, right around the crease and in like right around the hash marks, Deneau is always there. So he's one of those guys that is low and slow, we call it over here at Hockey Night in Scottsdale, giving his defenseman an option, and it makes such a big difference, Rob.
Yeah, he's one of the most underrated two-way players. This game is still very sloppy. The Kings look like they have a little jump in their step, but still there's not very many tape-to-tape passes. It seems like there's a lack of connection here with both teams. They're going to need to hopefully wake it up by the second period because I'm going to talk about my bet again. I have the fucking over. So let's get pucks on net here. Jesus Christ. And we're going to get to those questions in a minute. We go to questions at the commercial breaks, and we'll probably have one coming up soon. So fire up that chat. Here's a 3-on-2
play, but just
puck's bouncing, dude.
Flipped over. Who's 92?
I don't know if there was an Ariana Grande concert in TD Garden last night, but the ice does not look fresh. It looks bad.
Yeah, Dirt Road Anthem by Jason Aldean. But you mentioned connection, lack of connection. That is straight like a 90-day fiance job. As we have a developing play here, this could be a potential 2-on-1. As Postra shimmy shakes Garyakoff. And he's stone cold. Steve. Garyakoff. What's that guy's name? Oh, that's Mikey. Yeah, Garyakoff.
He came over from Columbus, right?
Yeah, that's Mikey Anderson on the 44 car, not 84, folks. Warren Fogle wins a puck battle in along the wall as Kevin Fiala is a little bit of a fire hydrant. I mean, he's thicker than you think there, that 22. Nice little play there. Fiala
it's like a strip club in Atlanta. Just everything's a little bit thicker. I like Fiala's game a lot. I like his fit on the Kings. I know last year, didn't he have a kind of subpar year for him? I don't know. I like Kevin Fiala.
29 and 44 last year for Kevin Fiala. I mean, he's making good money there. What is he making? I think he's making 8-7 maybe, something like that. So he's making sneaky amount of dough. Charlie Coyle gets a puck on net as
right to the chest.
You got to read that on the scouting
report.
All right,
chat.
That Darcy Kemper does have a quick chest, folks.
All right, let's hit the chat right here. We got a couple minutes on the commercial break, not even. We're going to fire off some. That's funny. Thought it was going to be blacked out. Yeah, I'm surprised that this Hockey Night Scottsdale stream is blacked out. We have Johnny Lazarus tapping in. I always say his name wrong. Anything I should talk to number 8 on Utah about after the game last night? Folks, check out Johnny Lazarus' stuff. I don't even know what he's doing. Everything these days. Blue Crew, Morning Cup of Joe, NHL. But that's for you, Swish.
Johnny Lazarus fell the pride of UMass Slamhurst via Mercyhurst. Always rocks a nice set of bifolicals. So, yeah, he's looking good on the beat over there for the New York Rangers, a.k.a. the Strangers. Number 8, yeah, ask him what they got up to maybe in the city. You know, have they hit any spots? Have they been to Medusa? Have they been to Due West? Have they been to the American Bar over there in the West Village? Ask those boys what they've been getting up to. Maybe have they gone to the Garden of the West? I don't know. I think anything's on the table for those guys, Johnny. So JL fella, cap tip over here as I'm rocking the Cincinnati Reds visor in honor of Pistol Pete Rose.
What do you guys think Bettman is up to tonight? That's the big question, fella.
Gary Bruce Bettman, I mean, he was drinking a Wrench Light over there in Utah when I was there. Wrench Light is Bud Light, folks. If you don't know, Kid Rock famously blew up with just a stack of those back in the day. But, yeah, I don't know what Gary's doing. Gary's probably sipping a nice white wine, hanging out with his wife, just thinking about how he's paying himself just over $13 million this year. So good for Gary just taking all the league's money.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. See you at the Talk House next year in West Garden. Hell of a spot, but we're going to get most furtive player on the Ducks. We have one more real quick, and then we'll get to the other ones. Robbie
Fabry, most furtive.
Oh, I love Fabry, man. I have a connection with somebody in very high up in the Detroit organization, and I was actually on a walk in Scottsdale one day, and they called me, and I was like, what the fuck are they calling me for? And he said, what would you sign Fabry to? If you had to sign him, knowing his injuries, what would you sign him to? And I go, you know what? I think this guy, he has a little bit of that dog in him. He's going to get back from these injuries. He's going to dial in. He's not going to give up. I give him a 3x3 or a 3x4 or something like that. You know, the kids earned it. And I think they gave him something like that. I'm not saying it was because of me.
Yeah.
But he actually called. He asked me. He knows I watched the game. So I respect Robbie Fabry coming back from those injuries, and hopefully he thrives there.
Yeah, they fucked up those ACLs there. That was a medical issue. We'll leave it at that. Anyways, folks, right now, 14:25 remaining here in the first frame. Again, 0-0 shots right now. LA Kings 5-4 as we get Hampus Lindholm going down the wall. He cycles the puck back into the trapezoid through to Morgan Geekie as he puck protects, waiting for Brad Marchand to collect. Charlie Coyle pops off the far post, and he is now in a battle with Mikey Anderson, the Minnesota native. Anze Kopitar with a great slip play in the middle of the ice to Andre Kempe, whose self-proclaimed nickname is Juice. Rob, wow, that was a nice little drive play there down the wall. You know what guy I'm looking at is Tanner Jeannot. Like, Tanner Jeannot, can he get back to that 1 year he had in Nashville, or can he not repeat that magic? Because last year in Tampa Bay, remember how much Tampa Bay gave up for that guy?
Yeah.
And he had 14 points, 57 odd games. Now he was injury plagued and a lot of different things going on in his system. Just couldn't really get his feet wet and comfortable there. But is Jeannot a guy we're going to see that was that 1 year in Nashville, his rookie year, where he's fighting, hitting, fucking, scoring? Or is he a guy that maybe is just, like a 20-point guy and kind of chuck him? I'm really interested to see how he fares in LA.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused at that. I knew he was kind of a gritty player, probably a guy you want in the postseason. But to be honest with you, I didn't know a whole lot about Jeannot. And especially when they gave up that big haul for him, I was like, what the fuck's actually going on here? Is there something I'm missing? Am I not watching this guy enough? But, they made the move. Good for him. And we're going to get tapping in from Germany. I wanted to point that out. We got viewers in Germany, which is pretty fucking cool. I didn't know this mic was right in our chin.
That is cool. And right now, folks, again, we're getting a look at LA head coach Jim Hiller. 35 remaining here in the first frame. 3:33 left here. If you're following along, obviously, I think we're a little behind.
We are behind, yeah.
Nothing wrong with coming from behind as we have an icing call here. We'll line up in the LA Kings offensive zone. Folks, we're getting a look at Jeannot there, the 10 car. Very interested to see how he does this year and how he fares with the LA Hockey Club coming out of Hermosa Beach, most of those guys live. I don't know about the LA Kings. I don't know if they're a playoff team. I think they're a borderline bubble team again, and I think it's going to come down to goaltending, how much they can score. Now, I'm looking down their lineup. They do have some decent players, but I don't know. The West is it's just big boy hockey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good teams. And I'm not sure how they're going to do this year in terms of, I think it's going to come down to their defense and their goaltending as David Pastrnak plays the puck in. And he's had a slow start to this game, folks, as a lot of the guys on the ice. I think it might be a Red Bull, a 5-hour energy, and maybe a Percocet to get these guys going in between the first and second frame. Pavel Zacha has been a nice, pleasant surprise for the Boston Bruins. Now, he came over from New Jersey playing center. He is now on the wing as Nikita Zadorov throws one high and wide and out of play. Folks, 2:53 right now, remaining only 10 shots total, Rob, in this game. Not a whole lot of action. 6-4, obviously, LA, but no significant chances. They had that one shorthanded chance, but other than that, not a ton going on in this match, in this matinee, per se, to start.
Yeah, sometimes we kind of get stuck with these boring games, and you just got to battle through it. Hey, this is a professional broadcast we got going on here. We're not wearing suits for our own fucking health over here. We're trying to be professional, and we just got to battle through this boring-ass game so far.
Yeah, and we're getting a look, obviously, at, a couple teams early in the season. You're feeling each other out. It's like early in dating. You know what I mean? You're feeling the game out. You're feeling yourself out. Am I a little self-conscious? Why did I say that? Does she like me? Does she hate me? Does she want to fuck me? A lot of different things going on. So you're getting acclimated with new teammates. Not a new system per se, but just everything new. It's a new season. We're in game 2, maybe 3 for the Boston Bruins. So let's see if this game picks up a little bit in terms of crispiness. Right now, it kind of looks like the game we were watching last night with ASU and Michigan. Oh, that was a nice play there by McAvoy. But yeah, it just kind of seems a little sloppy early. Obviously, the passing is the one thing I'm noticing. And like you said, it looks like there was, I don't know if there was a Creed concert last night, because it looks like there's just a lot of different things on the ice, whether it's chew spit, residue, I don't know, bong hits, whatever it is, just ash. A lot of different shit on that ice right now at TD Garden, and it doesn't look like it's mid-season form per se in terms of the ice conditions.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point about early in the season, you're feeling each other out. It's also a time change, too, for the Kings. I mean, these guys are starting later. Maybe that's why they have more jump, because them, it's probably 1 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, rather. But, yeah, just 0 grade A chances in this game so far. when it comes to games like this and the puck's bouncing around and the guys look like they've never played together before, just throw everything on net. And I'm not just saying that because I have the over. You just have to, just like the players are a little bit cold, so are the goalies probably. So throw everything on net. Let's see what can happen here. But again, there really hasn't been a chance. This whole game has been in the middle of the ice.
Yeah, Chance the Rapper, and right now everyone's just, they're fighting that puck into a square. It's like when you're chopping up an onion at Benihana, you're on that teppanyaki grill, and you're kind of just beating that thing into a square. And that's kind of what's going on right now. Right now, I would like to get them, both teams, back to basics. Dump it in. Go find it. Get the ground game going. Maybe get some cycle chances. Right now, it's a lot of one-and-done plays. It's a lot of passing errors. When it's not crispy and you're not feeling it, you have to get back to that just ground and pound, old-school Alabama Crimson Tide-like football where you just run it up the cock, run it up the gut, and just try to make things happen and play a little bit of small ball game versus trying to make long, rink-wide passes. Again, get it below the goal line. Go to work. Get the puck low to high. Get some shots through traffic at the point, and go from there and build your game from the ground up. And right now, it just seems like they're trying to do too much, both teams.
Yeah, I mean, the Kings definitely died down. The Kings came out harder. And, yeah, Peter Miller, I did have my time zones fucked up. I'm not the smartest guy. But the Kings have slowed down a little bit. It's almost like they're playing down to the Bruins level. They look really good at first, but here's a 3-on-2 developing. It's Marchand over
kick that back. Why are you sucking? How does he not kick that back to the defenseman in Lori? Dude, that was a great A in the slot, and you go for a toe suck.
Even backdoor right there, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the trailer there, and you just let it go. Watch this develop as Marchand brings it over the line.
Oh! Maybe he thought the back checker was too close because Quentin Byfield was on his ass, but
I think you could slide that in quick. You could even slide it back. I mean, not a bad toe suck, but again, you got to know that Kemper's got a quick chest.
I mean, Brent Clark as a right shot is kind of in that lane on the back door, but I'm trying to – I do like the shot, but I would try to slide that back door. If you get that through, that's a goal.
Yeah, I just think you get that – I mean, it's not a bad shot, right? But when you delay it enough where you get the toe suck, now you take – everyone out of the equation, whether it's the backdoor guy even crashing the backside or the guy that, in terms of Lori being the trailer, the second wave. Now, I don't know if the lane was exactly open there. Maybe it could have been a quick little one-touch back, but not a terrible play. I just think Geeky could have made a better play, and we're two assholes sitting here at 10 a.m. talking about what Geeky could do. I'm just glad he got rid of that pink fucking visor. Well, that's a penalty.
Look at this game right now. Like, this is – look at the puck. It's bouncing around like a pinball machine. Like, look at this.
Did they microwave these biscuits before the game?
This is ridiculous.
Did they get these biscuits from Popeyes, your place? I fucking love that chicken.
Wait, they're going to call I think they're going to call a rough here on McAvoy.
Well, McAvoy has every right to be upset. He went barreling down in the JetBlue sign right in the trapezoid there, and I thought that was a little bit of an interference, kind of a clothesline from Philly low and slow to know.
Yeah.
He gets up, he's pissed off as he is because he's a Long Island native, and he's got a little bit of a temper, which is good in hockey. But I think he has every right. I think he has every right to be upset there. I'm not sure if they're going to give him a call. We'll see on that. But I like those jerseys. It just reminds me of like NWA back in the day. Just those bad boys out of Los Angeles, a clean, crispy look. Again, folks, right now, that is the end of the period, I believe. 0-0.
No, not yet.
What do we got? 6-8 seconds left?
Oh, it is the end of the first.
End of one.
My bad.
End of one, folks. Again, Boston, the home team over the TD Bank Garden, hosting the LA Kings. What do we want to do? We want to go to break or?
Yeah, we'll go to break here. We'll be back at the start of the second.
Folks, we'll see your chin soon again. Get a mimosa, get an Irish. We will be back for the second period.
played that first period. They were engaged physically. Their gap control was exceptional in all three zones. They were in the face of the most notably on the Bruins power play.
We live?
Yep.
Folks, as we get underway for the second period over here at Hockey Night in Scottsdale, coverage being brought to you by Jay Swish, Bobby Gucci. We're going live from the chin of Scottsdale, Arizona, bringing you a game at the TD Bank Garden of Boston, featuring the LA Kings and the Boston Bruins. Some are calling it the Sammy Adams game, Rob. Coast to coast. We have LA, we have Boston, LA shipping up to Boston. Obviously, the other night they were in Buffalo, so they're starting their year with an Eastern swing, but 1937 remaining here, in the second period. Just getting underway, Rob. That period, that number one period, oh my God, it was a little bit of a sleepy Joe fest out there. Not a whole lot going on, a lot of bobble pucks, a lot of just missed passes, a lot of errant passes. We'll see if the guys can get going. Maybe they woke up a little bit, maybe shotgun to Red Bull, 5-hour energy, hopefully something in between that.
Yeah, hopefully the guys, some smelling salts, some, maybe an Adderall or a Vyvanse. But yeah, hopefully this game picks up, not just for the sake of the players out there, but for the sake of us. I'm not trying to fall asleep on set here. There's a shot blocked by somebody in front. But yeah, let's see what gets cooking here. And no doubt about it, a fucking sleepy first period. So let's get this thing fucking going here. Fuck.
Yeah, that was a undersized defenseman, Jordan Spence, making that shot block. Right in front of Darcy Kemper, in front of the 4x6 again, we are looking at Tanner Jeannot, the LA Kings. Third line with Jeannot, and who do you know? Well, that's Trevor Moore, folks. Right now, 18:33 remaining as Joel Edmondson plays a puck to his defensive partner over there in Brant Clark as he chips one up the wall into the middle of the ice. Again, that is intercepted by a Boston Bruins defender in Andrew Peak. Folks, again, right now, following along, we are a little behind, but just stay with us. Sync up. Again, Hockey Night in Scottsdale, bringing you a matinee in coverage you can't find anywhere else. Shots right now, 8-7. Not a whole lot of action in that first frame, but again, hopefully this thing gets going as we have a young man out of Sweden playing in his second NHL game. That is Lee, coming up from the Ontario Purple Rain.
I'm telling you, man, there's something going on with this ice. I've never seen a puck bounce like this. Like I said, I don't know if the weekend performed last night. I don't know if what the ice guy is just high as hell, but this ice is not good. You can look at it and you can tell. Guys are falling down. The puck's bouncing all over the place. You got to just throw this fucker on net. It's kind of like the Winter Classic. The ice not perfect. Everything on net, just like that. A lot of block shots, too. A lot of congestion, a lot of traffic, like the 495 in LA. But this is a 2-on-1 here. Oh.
Yeah,
see, even that sloppy as hell. What the fuck is going on?
Extra sloppy, they like them, they say. But yeah, you're right, Rob. That puck right now looks like a little bit of a reaction ball. Remember those things back in the day where you kind of used to work on your hands and you just throw it and it just bounces all over the place. And again, I don't know if those pucks were microwaved. I don't know if they were cooked like a twice-baked potato, but that thing is all hopped up on Mountain Dew. Speaking of being hopped up on Mountain Dew, well, I got a little high last night. Anyways, folks, right now we're looking at the LA Kings road trip. They started off in Quebec City. They played a preseason pair of games there. They went to the chin of the Rust Belt in Buffalo, over to Boston, back up to Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto in there as well. Holy fuck. That's
18 days on the road. Oh, my God.
Pack a fucking Costco size of condoms, maybe a couple Z-packs, and holy shit, that seems like that's almost like a wow, I don't know. You go to Lulu before that trip, and you probably got to get about a 14 stack of underwear because you don't want to see those things after a road trip like that. You are absolutely roasting farts in those things.
18 days away from your wife, how horny she must be. That would be kind of cool about going on a road trip. You go on a road trip, 18 days, you play a couple hockey games, you go back, your wife's horny as hell, you throw her head through the headboard and just whack her. It's a long time.
Speaking of going through the headboard, we just missed a major hit. Zadorov delivered on an LA Kings forward. I didn't pick up the number there, but yeah. Wow, did he go through the headboard there? That was on Jeannot. He was like, yeah, like your wife after an 18-dayer. Sometimes you just got to take the screws to her. Zadorov going to sit. I don't know if that's a hit from behind. I'm not sure, but yeah, look at his head.
That's from behind, right on the numbers.
Right on the numbers. The thing I liked about this hit, though, from Zadorov, if you're going to make it dirty, well, at least finish a little bit with the chin there on the wall. So The LA Kings are going to go to the power play here, folks. They're going to get a look at their number one power play unit. Their first power play of the game coming here in the second period. Again, following along with the boys, we are somewhere right around the 16:41 marker as Anze Kopitar lines up in the dot against Charlie Coyle, the veteran out of Weymouth, Massachusetts.
Charlie Coyle used to play in the EJHL, same age year as him, and you always used to hear about him. You know, there's some mutant on the South Shore Kings that's tearing it up. He's probably going to go to the NHL, and well, they were correct, and he's still there to this day in the league. He's got to have, 1 or 2 years left on his deal? He signed a, 5x5? I feel like that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I feel like he's got at least 2 years left on that ticket as Anze Kopitar with his neck guard leans in into the dot here, and I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to live look at the LA unit, and LaFerta, in terms of the Harvard scholar, is playing on this number one unit, so we'll see what he can do again. I think he had 20-odd points last year. They're expecting big things from him. Brant Clark's going to quarterback this thing in the absence of Drew, Dewey, Cox, Doughty, and Adrian Kempe is in there as well. Juice, he calls himself. So, folks, Fiala, Kopitar, Kempe, LaFerta, and Clark are going to go for the number one unit as Darcy Kemper carefully collects that puck and plays it back to the 92 car as he executes a drop play that they all do in the National League as Juice surveys his option and throws a burger in two. Well, that was, I believe, Brendan Carlo, who carefully plays the puck back into the neutral zone. Adrian Kempe, well, again, kind of throws a burger over to Kopitar, and they're going to line it up. And
This
Marchand's
is
going to get it 200 feet. This is sloppy.
I don't want to get in this mode yet. I really didn't want to get in this mode, but this is just a bad game. Now, if I was in the Bruins arena right now, if I was in TD Garden, I'd just, kind of give up on watching the actual hockey. You know what? I give it 5 more minutes, and then after that, I'm going full blackout drunk. And I don't always like to get blackout drunks at the game. I like watching hockey.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of attention to actually watch the game and understand what's going on. And here's the point shot.
Yeah.
Good save by Swayman. But I just, this game is so fucking boring, dude. And I don't want to get negative here yet. But
yeah.
This is hard to watch.
If your boots on the ground at the TD Garden, you're going probably to the next Jameson bar at the next whistle, probably around the 13-minute marker when we're going to take questions and saying, you know what, I need a double fella, and I'm going to need a stiff one here. I don't even know if I'm going whiskey Coke. I might just go straight Irish whiskey here to get my chin a little bit of a tingle. Anyways, right now, again, folks, 38 seconds remaining in the power play, 15-18 in the game clock. But as we get a live look at Brent Clark, he throws that pill over to Juice Kempe, who gets a decent shot on, and LaFerta almost found the rebound in the garbage in front of the net. He got good wood on that, no diddy, and ultimately played a little bit of a backhand into Swayman, into his pads, and made a relatively routine save. As we're going to get a look at the second unit of the LA Kings. Again, 38 seconds left. 38 special, folks. Hold on loosely is one of their tunes, and holy shit, that's what they need to do right now because everyone is gripping it a little bit tight. And that's going to be Hampus Lindholm, who sends it 200 feet as Trent Frederick is set to forecheck.
What are you saying right now if you're a coach?
I mean, if you're on both sides, it's just like, let's clean the game up a little here, boys. Let's simplify it to a point where we can at least execute some passes. I think both teams need to be a little bit tighter together. I think, right now they're getting spread out. They're trying to make rink-wide passes. They're trying to complicate the game. And right now, clearly that's not working for both sides.
Yep, there it is. That was the play. Oh, there it is!
Oh, my God. Dude, he almost missed that. Why did he shoot it like in that? I mean, a goal is a goal, but he almost whiffed on that pill.
Turcotte actually whiffed on it. I thought he was going to put it in originally. Swayman looks a little slow to get up. I don't know what that was in front. There was a little bit of commotion in front there.
Yeah, a little slow motion commotion as we're going to get a look here at Spence. He massages that puck nicely. He sends it over to Quentin Byfield, back to Spence, over to Byfield, who makes a great seam pass to Low and Slow to No. And he kind of just shoveled that thing to the front of that. I don't know if he was looking for Turcotte. Oh, say it gets a fortuitous bounce off of the Boston defender and ultimately finds the back of the cage. Who was that? Peak? Yeah. Or was that Carlo?
That was Lindholm in front?
No, it went off the right shot defenseman there, and it kind of just found its way over to Moore after that puck that Deneau delivered to the front of the net. He kind of tried to throw a strong side one-timer to the net, I believe, from that pass from Byfield, and it took a bounce off of either Carlo or Peak, and it just found its way right over to Trevor Moore, who had 31 goals last year, Rob.
Yep, Trevor Moore, California product, if I'm not mistaken. I think Bo Bennett's dad actually coached him growing up.
Okay.
And I have a little quick story about this. The Kings are going into – it's actually not a story anyone would care about, but the Kings were going into overtime last year, and Bo, being a California guy, as we see, Trevor Moore, 31 tickles last night. That's a solid stat line. 31 goals, 26 assists, 57 points in 82 games for the kid. But yeah, Bo just goes throw 100 on Moore for an OT winner. It was plus 2,000, and it hit.
Wow.
So that was a really cool one, that California connection there. And, that's not a rarity anymore. We see guys coming to the league from all 50 states now. I think Seth Jones is from Texas or something like that?
All my exes live in Texas. Yep, he is.
Yeah.
So is Stefan Nason.
Yeah, Stefan Nason, sneaky veteran in the league, 300-something games, sticking around. And Stefan Nason's a guy, and he's not in this game. He always pops up during the playoffs. He always gets on the board during the playoffs. I kind of like him. I'd take him on my team.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that, had a little bit of National League experience, had to go back down to the jungle, literally put up a goal a game for the Chicago Wolves, and they won it, I believe, in 2022. Found his way into that Carolina mix. Their lineup, he was playing for the Wolves, which was their farm team at the time. And yeah, man, he's been a staple. He's had a nice little ticket in New Jersey. Great net front guy. Just gets it done. Nothing looks great about him, including his face. And that's not a shot at Steph. He'd probably tell you he's probably a soft 5. But again, he gets it done. He got himself paid. And man, he's a really good piece in terms of a middle 6 option. He can play on the top line, but he's probably best suited in a third line position. We're going to look here at, oh my God. Look at those hands. Now, that are hands that are probably showing me, I'm not sure if he could do what he did his first year in Nashville, because holy pause there. I know everyone's fighting it, but literally,
everybody, there's not one crispy pass. Guys are overskating the puck. Just shoot it.
Yeah, he was shaking that thing like a shake weight.
Boston just doesn't look right. Boston is half asleep right now. If I'm them, I'm actually trying to take a sip of an Irish coffee. Oh
my God, that was a
big hit by is that Zuzorov?
Oh, then it was the Goodwill Chin Hunter and McAvoy. That was a 1-2 dipsy do. Fogel down.
That's a trip.
As well as Janot down. He ran into the big Z, which he does not. Oh my God, McAvoy.
What is going on in this game?
Dude, that was criminal. What a step up by McAvoy, just trying to absolutely severance a guy's ACL, and Byfield is shaking up on the play, the double nickel. Quentin Byfield obviously signed a nice little ticket in the offseason, Rob. That was 31 and a hook over 5 years. And that's a deal in terms of Rob Blake giving a guy, rewarding him, but not giving him the bag, per se, in terms of an 8x8, just like we see that all these guys get. We're going to go to commercial break, folks. 12:29 remaining in the second period. What do you have for us, chat? Again, we're watching this game. It is 1-0, the LA Kings on that Trevor Moore goal on the power play.
Ja, let's go up. Care to comment on the outfitter of Hockey Night Scottsdale? People are saying it's Ross Dress for less. That is the most insulting thing anyone has ever said to me today. The day is young, though. Good morning, fellas. What up, Zikamos? Avid watcher of Hockey Night in Scottsdale. We have someone in from Rome.
Wow. When in Rome, folks.
Little snow shovel at intermission, fellas. Do you guys think the Kings make the playoffs, Swish?
That is going to be a hard division to get out of. Obviously, in the Pacific there, you have the 2 locks, I would say, in Edmonton and Vancouver. Now, Vegas is in there as well. So are they a wild card team? It's going to be close. Gun to my chin, no.
Yeah, I would have to say the same. Boston looks disheveled. I completely agree. They don't look normal, although they did have a couple big hits right there. They looked like there was a little bit of life, but then they took a fucking penalty, so we'll see what happens. When are we going to get some Hockey Night in Scottsdale hoodies? PDP, I actually need one too, because a lady took one from me. I'm not trying to sit here and say I get a lot of coochie, but a lady took my Hockey Night in Scottsdale hoodie in Florida, and I'm not too happy about it. So I actually need one too. So we're going to have those made up.
Wish I could have signed it for you, baby. Hope you're wearing it well.
A guy you'd like to see Boston acquire up front.
Well, I mean, they went and got their center iceman over from Vancouver and Lindholm. And to be honest, right now, Rob, I have not noticed him on the sheet. He's wearing number 28, but it looks like he's wearing a cloak like Harry Potter walking around Hogwarts back in the day. So I'm not sure. I mean, you got Lindholm, Coyle, Poitras, and Kaselik up the cock in terms of their centerman. Do you need another centerman? I don't know. Do you need a right shot winger? I don't know. I mean, to me, on paper, their team looks pretty good, especially on the back end. I just think right now they're playing like they're fucking hung. They're playing like they went out
What
on
is going
Chestnut
on?
Hill last night. They were shaking it up with a bunch of freshmen at BC, the Golden Eagles. Folks, right now, LA on the power play. I believe Charlie McAvoy is going to sit for that flying knee he delivered on Quentin Byfield again. If you're following along, the LA Kings scored last time they were on the power play just a few minutes ago. 12:29 remaining, 1:59 on the power play as we're getting a live look at the first unit for the LA Kings. And that puck is sent 200 feet by Hampus Lindholm, the former Anaheim Duck, as Darcy Kemper corrals the puck and dishes it off to Brant Clark, the young defenseman who was picked 8th overall just a few years ago. Juice Kempe over to Anze Kopitar, and they send that puck. Oh, wow, Kevin Fiala, a spinning backhand play over to Lafon Ferda. He collects that puck, sends it up to Brent Clark, and he takes a 1-2. You got to walk the line there if you're Clark. You can't stay still, can't be stationary, especially on the power play. It's dots. You got to get either on either side of the dot. Penalty killer is going to sit there. Just a lazy shot there by Clark.
Yeah, a lot of forcing it here by the Kings. And I just want to point out, look for McAvoy to turn up the heat on the physicality. The guy is a competitor. He's one of the guys on Boston that when things aren't going their way, he's going to throw that big hit. He's going to make a good play. He's a competitive kid. And, he's one of the leaders.
Oh, wow. Bang, bang,
Save by
shrimp
Swayman.
play. Yeah, you're right, Rob. I just think, like, McAvoy, like, he's overextending himself there a little bit. He's an emotional player. He wants to change the overall vibe and just the shift of the game in terms of trying to create some momentum for his team. But anytime you're stepping up and out from, 10 feet or 12 feet, it's not perfect. I think he overexerted himself a little bit there. I think he got what I would say a little horny, and ultimately he's sitting for 2 minutes. But, yeah, he's one of those guys that tries to change the momentum. He's trying to will his team into the fight because right now they have no fucking pulse.
They look really bad. And the Kings don't look great either, but they are up 1-0. So there's two guys like Zadorov and McAvoy. And what other way to get things going in physicality is Danault has the puck. And, again, there has to be 100 block shots in this game. Pucks just will not get through. Jeremy Swayman, for the most part, though, not tested with a lot of grade A's, but the Kings do have 17 shots on net, and he's really good positionally tonight. He looks like he's very calm, cool, collected, almost Carey Price-like in the net.
Yeah, you always look for your goaltender to be quiet. You always look for a guy that can make that first save as Charlie McAvoy gets out of the box. But going back to that power play, Jordan Spence, he got the middle of the ice there. I don't know if you caught it a little bit ago, folks, around the 11-minute marker. That is something they need to do, getting back to the power play. Get the middle of the ice. That way that umbrella opens up, and you can pass it either to your left flank or your right flank, something that Clark did not do on that first part of that little bit of the power play. But right now we're getting back to 5-on-5 play, 9:54 remaining.
I gotta say here, Marchand and Pasternak, I have not even seen them. They are
Lindholm
very quiet. And Lindholm, they are snoozing right now.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on. And Trevor Lewis, I mean, look at this guy out of Salt Lake City. I don't know if he's Mormon. I don't know what he is. But a guy that's played 975 matches, especially the way he's doing it. I mean, an early morning game like this, how do you think his body's feeling? Because looks like he's barely moving out there right now. But good for T. Louis, a good veteran beauty of the game. Obviously, Rob Blake keeping him around for the young guys. But this game, man, this is just like sloppy seconds. Like, the girl that your buddy tucked, but you're still going back at her. Why are you doing it, fella? You need to change it up. And right now, this game, both teams just way too spread out.
What the fuck is going on? Sorry, Swish.
Yeah, the ice is horrible. But these guys, I mean, they're overhandling the puck. They're trying to make way too long of passes rink wide. It's a slapdick fest right now. It's literally slapdick hockey, as I call it. Just slapping it everywhere. No one's got a clue. And again, we're going to line up here in the LA Kings defensive zone. We're going to get to a commercial break. 8:58 remaining in the second frame. This game has been a shit burger, as I would call it.
Can we put the NHL on blast on blackout games for us in Arizona? Like, way to kick us when we're already down. What the fuck? Yeah, the NHL is light years away from the right way to market. I think they're getting better. I just think for me, and I understand there's money and contracts involved, I just think that if you want to have a team back in Arizona, don't you want to expose hockey as much as possible to the people in Arizona? And I know people are like, oh, well, some local channels have it picked up. That's not the point. Hockey is not accessible in Arizona unless you have 3 or 4 different providers, different subscriptions, and it's not good for growing the game out here. I mean, you want people to be watching hockey and being like, give us our team. So when the team does get back, they have a solid hockey. They have a solid fan base of hockey people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's rocket scientists that need to figure this out either. I think it's just, a couple of guys at Hockey Night in Scottsdale could get this solved. I don't understand it. I think it's just borderline, politely putting it, retarded. And if there's any way that they can figure this out just so people can watch hockey here, it seems like it should be a relatively easy fix. I don't know why year after year we have to keep harping on this, and it just seems more prevalent than ever now that games are getting blacked out in a region and a market that literally does not have a National Hockey League team. I don't know if there was something that kind of came into effect before the start of the season that maybe even dates back to, a year ago in a project. I have no idea. You'd like to think they can get it figured out, Rob, so we don't have to watch it on some foreign website and click out of chat roulette and pornos and girls that are knockoff OnlyFans members.
Gucci coming in from the chin of Montauk. Shout out to Montauk. Swish, what the hell is with this Bruins club? My God, there's 0 pulse in the first few games this season. Yeah, we've been talking about it, especially today. I mean, we are just battling. We're just two professional broadcasters battling through this piece of shit game. It's been sloppy. The ice sucks. The star players have disappeared. There's not much we could say other than that. I mean, we've been talking about it now for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, again, early games usually are sloppy. It's going to happen. Usually it's either an absolute goal fest or it's a sleeper like this. Now, we are getting the latter right now. We just hope for the fucking sake of the over, these guys wake up and these goalies start letting in maybe some shit burgers along the ice. Oh, my chin music there. That's got to be a penalty. That's a penalty.
Is it though?
Dude, the puck was nowhere near him.
Oh, I was going to say for elbowing.
Yeah, that's interference, 100%. As we're going to get the extra skater. And
I like it,
Boston.
Though.
Yeah, I like it, especially Spence, an undersized defenseman. I like he's going after a chin there. But, yeah, he stapled him like a homework packet, like you'd say, in post-rush. In his first game back. But, yeah, this game right now, I mean, Pasternak literally still in his bed. Marchand, not sure if there was enough Flexol on those hips. We'll see if these guys can get maybe something going on this power play as Jordan Spence is going to sit for interference. Yeah, that's the right call. I mean, the puck was nowhere near. I like what he's doing there, but you can't just staple a guy without the puck. The puck was nowhere in the vicinity of the trapezoid there.
Remember having those idiots on your team and they'd always have the same play? It's like, okay, so he was kind of banking on him.
Yeah, getting the puck.
Touching the puck, and it skipped through. Just a timing thing, but still
he's pretty late on that.
Yeah, he's a late hit.
He's late. He's late. I get what he's trying to do. Like if he even touches the puck and you get that 3 Mississippi, 100% label him. But right there, when the puck bounces over you got to let up. So I like the idea though. He's playing on the edge.
I like the idea, especially because we need some action here. Let's see what Boston can do. I think they're over 2 on the power play, if I'm not mistaken. But let's see what they could do here. Everybody's fumbling the puck.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable.
We got to chat. What was going on last night in Boston at the TV?
Look at it.
What was going on? Was there a basketball preseason game? Was there a concert? Because there was clearly something going on, as Rob alluded to early. That was a great call because that ice is fucking horrible. Like,
look at
there had to be a concert there last night, or the hardwood was on for a preseason game. Because folks, get at us. What was at the Garden last night? I'm going to look after the period here, but if someone's got it right now, let us know because. Clearly, this ice is some of the worst we've seen. And early on in the year, when it's a little bit hotter out, especially in these northern markets, that ice does get shitty faster. But this is unacceptable. I mean, I know a lot of it's on the players. At the end of the day, they're National Hockey League players. But if Brad Marchand is bobbling a puck on the yellow coming at a mile an hour, like it's just this ice looks like they're fighting it.
Looks like they're fighting everything though. Like just look at the entry. Like they haven't had a clean entry. They're giving away pucks. How many odd man rushes have there been for the shorthanded team? Is Quentin Byfield speeding ahead?
Yeah,
overskates the puck.
Classic.
Bad pass.
I mean, he was driving that puck like he stole it. Oh, Frederick, nice little slip.
Look at that. God. Oh my God. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is like a Winter Classic game right now. Fuck, wish we would have known that before the game started.
Might
Jesus
be worse.
Christ. Yeah, I don't know what was going on at the TD Bank Garden last night. I don't know if they had they melted the ice and they had a pool, a wet deck up there, but who knows what's going on? Is Frederick? That's offsides. That'll come back. That'll come back if they talk. And Charlie Coyle massaging that thing like a piece of A5 Wagyu as he throws a little bit of a shit burger into the skates of Morgan Geeky. He collects the puck.
The right play right there.
Lindholm overskates it, misses it. A little hooking play by Juice Kempe. A little backhand sauce that's unnecessary, but I like it from Lindholm. And Lindholm literally looks like he's skating in quicksand right now, man. He looks like the Kool-Aid man. He's like his top heavy. Oh, my God.
I mean, what the fuck was that? Who is that? I know
Billie Eilish was there last night.
Justin Brazeau has not looked great tonight, and I'm sorry. I know I'm just an asshole commenting on the game, but he has looked bad. Billie Eilish was actually in a concert there last night. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what kind of theatrics they have at the Eilish concert, but it definitely has taken a toll on this ice. I mean, this is brutal. Guys are missing a net by 50 feet.
Yeah, Billie Eyelash, they call her. And I don't know what was going on. I don't know if there's a bunch of eyelashes on there from girls using those fake ones that ultimately end up on the ice, soaking it in there, and the puck is bouncing over those. But it looks like there's a few speed bumps around not only the 200 by 85, but everywhere in between as we get a puck that's covered up right in front of the 4x6 of Darcy Kemper. And there's a stockpile of men gathered in front trying to put a puck over the goal line. 5:16 remaining in the second frame as we're going to commercial break. Folks, again, let us know where you're waking up with Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Again, are you stunned? What'd you do last night? Hopefully you got drunk. Hopefully you caught a buzz, fella.
What's the deal with blackouts? Look at our every week. We're going live twice a week, and we're doing a podcast, Hockey Night in Scottsdale podcast. You can watch that live on YouTube. You'll see it on our Twitter feeds. You can also watch the show after on YouTube, Spotify, or listen on Spotify or Apple. We did talk about the blackout, so I would just go to our last episode. We kind of, we ran it into the ground. It's your boy Poirier checking in. What's up, fella? This broadcast is a lot better than anything we get on the East Coast of Canada, fella. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. A lot of time spent in the chat from Poirier. Fuck the Bears. No Diddy coming out of left field with fuck the Bears.
Fuck the Bears. Yeah, they are, if you're talking about the Chicago Bears, they're playing in the London games, I believe, against Trevor Lawrence, who famously got engaged after his freshman year. Hashtag pussy.
Swish, who's the best goalie you ever played against?
JB Snow, that is Bennington. I played with him 2 years in the minors, a little bit in the National League, and then he took off, and I'm sitting here. But shout out to JB. I think he is the best netminder I've ever played with. Actually, he played a couple of games with Marty Brodeur on the bench. He was the GM, and he came from the stands, from the brass, the 300 level section at the Scott Trade Center, now the Enterprise Center, to put on the pads. And I would say that he is the most legendary, obviously, but Bennington is probably the best netminder I have ever played with.
Oh, that's why he said the Bears.
Oh no, this is a Cincinnati Reds. Shout out to Pistol Pete Rose. The guy loved the game. The guy loved to parlay. The guy was awesome. Charlie Hustle, folks. Pete Rose, the 14 car. Rest easy, my friend. Hopefully you're drinking in heaven. Folks, back to the game right now. 5:07 remaining in the second frame as Mason Lorai surveys the ice as they set up a neutral zone breakout. Andrew Peaky, however the fuck you say, Peaky Blinders, soft P, hard P. Well, he sends it in to the frame of the Boston zone. And again, right now, Gooch, just a whole lot of nothing going on. Tanner Janot plays the puck carefully back to an LA defender. And it's just an absolute slap fest, man. This is like war back in the day where you just line up from each other and just start shooting. And all of a sudden, guys drop. Guys are carried off, and then you just start over again. There's nothing going on. This game is played at the line of scrimmage. There's been nothing that's really opened up or caught our eyes for the entire, almost now, 36 minutes of this first little bit of the game.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about the game when the game sucks. It's making me want to go play tennis and then go have a couple drinks after it. That's going to be an accidental trip out front. The puck's just bobbling around as we've been talking about and cleared out. Yeah, just an extremely boring game. I have a couple teams that are on my no-watch list, and I'm not going to add these two teams yet, Swish, but yeah, we just got a battle, and it's happened a lot last season where that's offsides.
Yeah, and Poisters, he finds streaking McAvoy, and I'm not sure that was even going to hit the net, but Kemper made a nice leather flash with the mitt, and I think that would have sailed the 4x6. But anyways, McAvoy with a decent chance. But Darcy Kemper right on top of the crease, not giving up a ton of twine there. 3:52 remaining again as we get a live look here. The McAvoy chance, a nice little slip pass to the middle by Poistras, and Darcy Kemper flashes the leather right on top of the blue paint, actually outside of the blue paint, not a ton to shoot at. If you're McAvoy, yeah, that probably would have hit the bar, maybe just under it and tickled some twine. But Kemper was there. He shakes it off, fights it off, and again, we will see what we have here. No penalty on the play, I believe. I don't know why the referee
what was that?
had his arm raised. Usually that's the linesman calling for a whistle. But again, folks, right now, everyone's, we got a penalty. He's right. Brant Clark going for holding. Going to get a Boston Bruins power play. That was on Justin Brazeau as he made his way over the blue line.
Can they wake the fuck up? I mean, how many power plays are we going to have to watch where it's just getting dumped? They struggle on the entry. Let's wake the fuck up here. Get a couple good quality A. It's 5 guys versus 4 guys, burgers and fries. Let's wake the fuck up here.
Yeah, you'd like to see a guy like Brad Marchand maybe find something here. Pasternak obviously has been not up to par.
Oh, my God. Put away the whistle.
And Pavel Zacha is going to sit for interference as he runs into the LA penalty killer. And Juice Kempe, that was only 8 seconds into it, Rob, so we're going to skate 4 aside, but Jesus Christ. What are we doing here?
I mean, what is Pasternak doing there? Respectfully, like,
what is Pasta doing?
Setting it back into the guy's skate.
And why doesn't Zacha just skate a little bit? Why does he have, I mean, you fella, like, I don't know.
He knew he was going to get beat.
Yeah, he knew he was going to get beat, but I do think McAvoy would have got back just in time. I mean, it's not like Juice Kempe was moving that fast. But anyways, folks, we're going to skate 4-on-4 for the next minute 51, 3:43 remaining in the second period as we get a look at Jimmy Montgomery, the bench boss of the Boston Bruins. He cannot be happy with his team. Neither can Jim Hiller on the other side. I know they're up 1, but this has been an absolute slapdick of a game. We're going to skate 4-on-4 here as we have Lindholm, Marchand facing off with Kopitar and Kempe and the defenseman. That doesn't really matter, folks. Right now, 3:30 remaining in the second frame as we get a look at some 4-on-4 hockey. Maybe this opens up a little bit of ice. Maybe we can complete more than one pass. But again, that was not the case as the LA Kings try to find a breakout into the Boston end. Marchand. That was a must.
Oh, how did that get in? What an absolute juicy rebound. One of the biggest rebounds I've ever seen in my life. Pops out and just an absolute piss missile. I don't even see how that puck entered the net, Swish.
Yeah, that was a rebound like J-Lo going between Ben Affleck and Alex Rodriguez. I'm going to rebound here. I'm going to rebound there. I'm going to rebound like Dennis Rodman or Ben Wallace back in the day. Pass off the pad. Lindholm finds a twine right along the river. And he takes a strong side 1T clapper on that. Wow, it was just a knuckle puck.
Right through the wickets.
Always shoot a rolling puck. Always shoot a bobbling puck. That is a rule of the game. And, yeah, I just think that is just a case of bad ice there. And Kemper, as he was sliding, wasn't really able to get his pad on that just wobbling puck, Rob. It was just a weird, juicy rebound and ultimately had that weird spin on it. And Lindholm, he threw it on the net. We said that. Just throw fucking pucks to the net and see what happens because I think that caught Kemper ultimately off guard.
Swish, do guys ever get talked to by the coaches for constantly shooting into traffic? I mean, Poitras, whatever the fuck his name is, he shoots into guys' sticks and shin pads nonstop. You got to get the fucking puck through. Change the angle, slide it on the ice, do what you got to do. Everything's getting blocked. Get the puck through.
Yeah, you're right. And that's exactly what Lindholm did there. And Darcy Kemper, as we watched that replay, overcommitted on that play and ultimately kind of took himself out of the play and got beat through the 5-hole. But, yeah, I think there's ways to work with young prospects and young players, especially like this number 51, coming back into the lineup after injury, Rob. I just think for him, it's like you got to be able to change the angle. You got to be a little bit more patient. Maybe you have to be a little quicker.
Sorry.
And as you know, it is a skill to get your wrister through the wickets of a National Hockey League defender, and you can use him as a screen. So I think, yeah, for sure, man. I think coaches and especially assistant coaches, that's something that you can work on with especially the younger players and a guy like that because you can't be having 6-7 shots get blocked. It's like, fella, you got to figure it out.
I mean, every time he has the puck tonight, I'm not trying to bag on this young individual, but every time he's had the puck tonight, he's shooting into a shin guard, a skate, or a stick. It's like, dude, just get the puck on net. Just figure it out. Change the angle. Maybe take a little bit of mustard off of it even just to get it through. Just get it on the freaking net.
Add a little ketchup.
2:45 remaining.
A little bit of mustard. And again, shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot. Speaking of hot, this ice looks hot because the puck is bouncing all over the goddamn place. 2:33 remaining, 2:31 now as we're skating for a side after that goal by Lindholm, his second of the year. Coming off the pad of Kemper via Brad Marchand, like a good neighbor. State Farm was there. Marchand and Lindholm tagging up like a couple of good neighbors, whacking someone else in the cul-de-sac. Again, right now, 2:13 remaining in the second frame. 20 seconds left here, Rob, and counting as we get to almost a little bit of a 5-on-4 situation for about 8 seconds, and then it'll go to 5-on-5, and then everyone will go to the locker room, have a smoke, and come back for a goddamn fucking barn burner of a third period. Probably, I would say at this rate, next goal wins.
Do you think any guys in the league smoke cigarettes still?
I would say there's a few Russian guys out there that do, but probably in the confinements of their own home.
Yeah, there's got to be those guys. I think chew is a little bit less prevalent now too.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be everyone was just throwing a dip in. Everyone thought it was so sick. You learned that from the early days of junior hockey, just trying to impress a guy that's 20 years old and you're 15 or 16. Anything to look cool, just like us over here rocking suits at 10 a.m. Folks, again, stay with us. 1:20 remaining here in the second frame. 1-1 aside, shots 2015 in favor of the Kings. And this has just been a absolute dick around fest at the TD Bank Garden as La Ferta gets a shot, the Harvard product, skating back where he played college hockey in Boston.
1 minute remaining. If you're still here, somebody said, with all due respect, Hockey Night in Scottsdale, I'm signing off. This game is retarded. I completely agree. We're trying to make it entertaining for you guys, but it's kind of hard to do when you're looking at maybe hopefully the worst game we'll do this season. God, I'm getting frustrated just by the way the puck is bouncing. Yeah, this is a tough game to watch. I'm not sure what else to say. It's 11:37 a.m. Arizona Standard Time.
Yes, it is, folks. And right now, again, we're coming up with 30 seconds to play as Anze Kopitar massages the puck nicely. And what does he do? Well, it's the theme of the game. Throws a complete shitburger over to Kyle Burrows, and they're not able to connect. Like bad Wi-Fi at your ex-wife's house. Folks, again, 15 seconds remaining as we're going to get maybe one last look from a toe-sucking Mason Lohrei, who rings the bar and goes post-west like he's going over to a place like Bounce.
All right, folks, that'll do it for the second period. We'll be back for the third period. Fire up the chat. We get to all the questions in the commercial break. And thank you for watching, and we will be back.
Folks, stay with us.
Sniff around. All right, we're going live. We're live.
Take away time and space.
1 sec.
And take away the passing lane. Two clubs getting ready.
Shit, someone's bumping out there.
Let's go down to ice level and check in with Darryl.
Party buses are going. Where's my fucking suit?
Yup. Folks, again, if you're joining us, it is Saturday. It is a matinee over here, an early start off the bump with Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Obviously, we're watching a fucking horrible matchup right now, but we're bringing you coverage you can't find anywhere else with energy. You're not going to get anywhere else. Obviously, looking at Jim Montgomery right now in his third season as a Boston Bruins head coach. Last season, Rob, they went 47-20. Had a pretty good showing in terms of people. Not a lot of people expected them to make it to where they did against the Florida Panthers in the second round. Ultimately lost in 6 games, I believe. But this game right now, knotted up at 1. Got a late goal and a 4-on-4 play from the newly acquired Elias Lindholm. Brad Marchand went pass off the pillow, and Darcy Kemper let out a juicy rebound, like a juice you kind of find flying off an A5 Wagyu tomahawk, just juicing all over your chin. He was able to make that a goal converted. Again, 1-1 right now as we're lining up at center ice at the TD Bank Garden, right in the jaw of Boston, Massachusetts. Fella, hopefully a little bit more action here. Hopefully the teams have shaken off the hungover spell or whatever was going on at the start of this game, because for the first 40 minutes, there's been not a lot to talk about.
I'll tell you this, Wish. I hope we get a goal, not just because I want to see a goal, is because I might actually kill myself if this goes into overtime and I have to spend 1 more minute longer than regulation watching this horrendous game. This is one of the worst games I've ever seen. I might never watch the Kings or the Bruins again, especially for a Saturday. It's bringing down the vibes. We're doing our best here to give people coverage and turn this into a positive. But this has been boring as hell. And this is probably the worst game I've ever seen in my entire life. But we're going to keep battling. 19:28 remaining in the third period. If you're going to sync up your freaking TV with ours, and we got a 5-on-5 action here.
Yeah, you're going hopefully not right back to the couch and going John Beckwith from Wedding Crashers reading Don't Kill Me books, because, folks, that is what this game is kind of making you want to do. Anyways, right now, again, we're looking at the Boston Bruins and the visiting LA Kings, who are famously on a 18-day road trip to start the season. Folks, that is when you pull out the bat phone on the other side of the bedroom and let your wife know that, you know what, I'm hitting the road, baby, and I got my T-Mobile out for various different reasons. Again, right now, if you're following along, 19:15 to play in the third frame as we're getting a look at the Boston Bruins, an original 6 franchise, absolutely whacking the pill around. And it seems to be the theme of the day after a Billie Eilish concert last night at the bank. So we'll see what happens here, folks. Again, looking at some of the younger players on the Kings. Obviously, a few new faces we've mentioned earlier in the broadcast coming over to the Kings this year. Jeannot, we got Fogle from Edmonton, Lee skating in his second National Hockey League game, and Kyle Burrows, who was inserted into the lineup, coming over from Man Jose, with Drew Doughty being out of the lineup for a extended period of time. Charlie McAvoy lunging at guys, throwing chins on the glass, trying to create any sort of momentum physically he can do to get this game a little bit kick-started to the heart. But again, the passing has just been absolutely horrendous, where it kind of just kills the flow of the game, Rob.
There's been no flow, 2 early whistles here in the third, and Swish, I don't think anything's going to change. I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but this is just, sloppy hockey. It's not fun. If I'm a fan, I'm absolutely furious, and I'm full-blown stepping on the gas and getting blackout drunk in beautiful Boston on this Saturday, because you might as well. There's no point in paying attention to the shit show of a hockey game. I might even be leaving TD Garden and heading out on the town. This is just not worth the price of admission. But that'll happen sometimes, Swish. This isn't scripted. This is the National Hockey League, and 18 minutes to go. And look at this.
Call your Percocet dealer, because Cowboy Take Me Away. This has been a little bit painful, and I need to get numb on the south end over in Southie. Anze Kopitar takes the puck to the trapezoid, surveys his options. He finds Burrows, Ultimately, a shot block there from the Boston Bruins. Forward, that is Charlie Coyle, a 13 car out of Weymouth, Massachusetts. Lorai sends a puck over to his deep partner, and Andrew Peaky Blinders. Kyle Burrows collects that dump-in puck, and Marchand is able to seal the wall before trying to make a clearing attempt low to high to his defensive unit in Mason Lorai, the 6'4 defender out of Sauk Prairie, Wisconsin, via Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where his dad was coaching the Eastern League growing up as a young fella. Folks, again, following along right now, 17-14 remaining in the third period, as we're getting a look here at just more slapdick. Alex Turcotte surveying his options as he tracks down or attempts to. And Mason Lorai, who, wow, makes an evasive play, almost loses a puck right in front of Swayman, but ultimately he's able to get the puck to Trent Frederick and go for a change. Rob, we're looking at just a lot of play along the wall, a lot of incomplete passes, and a lot of just what I call line of scrimmage hockey. It's like when you just line up and it's just, oh my dipsy-do by Lindholm. There's a little bit of hope there, a little bit of hope solo. But yeah, just a lot of line of scrimmage play, a lot of just running up the gut, not a whole lot of just sexiness or moxiness at all to this 1-1 hockey game as we're into the third period.
Lindholm has looked like shit. You're going to want to headman that puck or at least get it deep. I mean, he lost it, got lucky, puck gets deep, but TD Garden actively promoting a Mariah Carey concert on the boards, and I hope that's not at TD Garden because that's going to be a trip on Brandon Carlo.
All I want for Christmas is chew. Folks, nothing like a Copenhagen wintergreen right in your jaw as Brandon Carlo, the Colorado native, is going to go off for 2 minutes for tripping on Brant Clark. It's like when you catch his skis just a little bit too low with your fire poker, and all of a sudden you end up in the sin bin. Anyways, 16:08 remaining in the third frame here. Shots right now, that means anything. 22-16 in favor of the LA Kings. Carlo going to sit Jimmy Montgomery with sporting a half Windsor. Looks good. Shaves his head daily, folks. And using of the Rogaine. Check. Folks, Swayman in the pipes, obviously getting a start tonight. Charlie Coyle stepping into the the center ice dot. We're looking at Swayman in the 4x6. And wow, another play. Just no flow to this game at all, Rob. A lot of whistles, a lot of penalties, and a lot of whole lot of nothing, my friend.
Yep, this game sucks. It's one of those ones, we had a couple last year where it's hard because you want to bring the energy and you want to be entertaining, and it's sometimes, man, it's hard. And we can sit here and talk about stuff that's not game involved. Like, we're going to play tennis after this. Where are we going to go to dinner? Are we going to get drunk? Are we going to go to the ASU hockey game? They played Michigan last night. They didn't play too great. What are we going to do the rest of the day? We can do that, but we try to stay dialed on the game, but it's just tough when games like this suck. But you got to call it like you see it.
You got to call a David Spade. Yeah, we did go over to the iconic Mullet Arena yesterday, and what a spectacle that was, somewhere under 5,000 people, as it always was. But great game, Michigan, a good hockey club. They actually lost a lot of their good players, but like good programs do, they rebuild, and they rebuild on the fly, and there was a lot of good from Michigan, not a lot of good from ASU. And as we have a pause in the action here, folks, we are now, well,
we also
somehow stalled with our coverage. But yeah, we'll just kind of just play it off of ASU hockey. I don't know if you caught that yesterday with the guy tapping out on the sheet. I've never seen that before. Michigan number 6. I don't know his last name. He's a kid out of Minnesota. Ultimately tapped out a kid on ASU number 5, and I believe Gooch just said his name. But yeah, hilarious. I don't know if you caught the scene. I tweeted it out. Missing Curfew threw it out there as well in terms of a guy tapping out on the sheet, literally tapped out. He had him in a chokehold. And just like strangling your wife in the bedroom, sometimes enough is enough. Anyways, folks, back to the game here as we got it cleared up. Power play time at 20-odd seconds. And we have 14:25 remaining on the clock. Again, please get at us. What are you doing on the Saturday, folks? We might just go full podcast style instead of calling a game if this thing just continues to be an absolute shit sandwich.
Do girls still like being choked? I remember a few years back, every girl would always be tweeting about how they like getting choked. They'd be retweeting other tweets about how they like getting choked in the bedroom. I haven't really heard a lot about that recently. I don't know if that's still a thing, but if you're going to do that, you don't want to be in a situation like Trevor Bauer where you get absolutely bait and switch.
Yep.
So you got to be careful out there. But I don't know. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I believe Taylor's oldest time is choke and poke. Like you're down 0-2 in a count, you step into the batter's circle, your third base coach looks at you and goes, fella, just get your bat on the ball, choke and poke. So at least some of the ones I'm hanging out with, Rob, I'm not saying I'm Johnny Sins over here, but yeah, I think that is still in play. And still in play right now is a hockey game up for grabs. 2 points on the line. Corn Dogs, Jackie. We have 13:56 remaining as we're getting a look at newly acquired Joel Edmondson, patrolling the blue line, the sheriff himself, 2019 Stanley Cup winner, coming over from Toronto last year. Was obviously acquired at the deadline from Washington, signed a nice little ticket for $15.4 million over 4 years. That will work at Manhattan Beach. That'll work, most importantly, at a place like Shellbacks, Rob.
Yeah, shout out to Shellbacks, man. Went there for the first time. Bo Bennett's jersey is on the wall, which is so Ferda. I think that's so funny just to have Bo Bennett, local kid, his jersey's on the wall. You know it's going to be a good bar if there's a Bennett Penguins jersey on the wall. I think they should put a Penguins. I think they should put a Blues bet. Pasternak, I forgot he was even in this game. Holy shit. Carlos shooting directly into traffic. That's blocked in front. Poitras, whatever his name is, he's going to end up shooting it into someone's stick. He hasn't got a shot on goal tonight. Everything's getting blocked. And there's a save by Darcy Kemper. But, yeah, I think it would be funny if they put Bo Bennett's Blues jersey on the wall at Shellbacks, even though he only played 6 games there or something like that.
6 games, 1 assist.
Chat, does anyone have anything for us? I mean, we are just battling through this game right now. Does anybody have anything for us? We have commercial break. Any good plays tonight? I don't have anything on the docket. I'm kind of taking a little break from gambling. I've just been getting slaughtered the last 2 weeks.
I would say the one play I would recommend, not that I know anything, would be the Leafs at home against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I just think the Leafs losing the other night, they're going to rebound, and they will be, well, firing on all cylinders.
That's good. Good bet. And also, you might want to throw Matthews' goal in there. He does not have a goal this season. I think he's hit 5 posts. So why not Matthews' goal in a Leafs win parlay? That's got to be a guaranteed winner, in my opinion.
100%. Way to give it 110%.
Please rip on the Sabres some more. You know, I don't know if I can, man. I mean, I said so much about the Sabres in our last episode. And if they keep losing, I'll probably say more stuff. But I'm glad that people enjoyed that rant. And there's more to that rant on our YouTube page, Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Make sure you subscribe. Listen to the full episode. It's also on Spotify. It's on Apple. So glad you enjoyed the rant. And I mean it. I mean the rant. I'm not even from Buffalo or anything like that. I'm not a Sabres fan, but I'm just calling it like I see it. This guy says, let's just get to this one first. Needed advice on Asian girls for tonight. I'm not sure. Is it bring your own oil night? Is it bring your own oil for a new road night? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Asian girls, if you're going to be, and I say this in a non-racist way, if you're going to be going for your yellow belt, well, make sure you pack the oil. Make sure, you know, you're ready to play because they will have you lathered up. They'll have you ready to go. And a lot of times, divorced guys go for Asians. It's just one weird stat. They say more often than not, your second wife will be Asian. She will take care of you. She will make you a nice meal. And usually, you know what? Just like in Happy Gilmore, she will wear your jersey around the house if needed.
Who you boys got for the World Series? I don't know. Ever since the D-backs are out, I just are the Mets out?
I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Pete Alonso will be in the home run derby next year, though. That's what I do know.
Pete Alonso's hosting his own home run derby over the summer, and it's just him.
Pete Alonso, yeah, he's actually dueling the guy Pablo from Backyard Baseball, the game back in the day, and Keisha Phillips. So good luck to Pete. Good luck to his own home run derby. He's doing it for charity, and the charity is actually just going right back into his bank account. So anyways, folks, again, 12:37 remaining in the third period. Shots right now, 25-18. As this whole game has been played outside the dots. Outside the dots are not where you want to be. You want to be inside, just like inside of anything. I'll let you put that together, folks.
Oh, my God. Now what?
This is fucking horrible.
There's no way that battery went.
Folks, right now, we're going radio style. All you hear is Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga.
Yep, battery went.
Why did we do this game? Somebody said, well, we did it for you, the people. It just turned back on somehow, some way, but I don't know if it'll
This was
last.
fully charged.
Fully juiced. Maybe the battery is
I
just...
think the battery might be shot. I'm going to order a new one.
Battery might be checked out, folks. Again, stay with us, stay clean, and above all, stay sexy. Right now at Hockey Night in Scottsdale, obviously bringing you coverage you can't find anywhere else, going radio style. For the people, by the people, Bobby Gucci, Jay Swish, sorting out some technical difficulties right now. But stay with us. It is 1-1 in this game right now, featuring the Boston Bruins and the LA Kings, who are visiting the Chins.
We're going radio style, but we're gonna have to. So that thing used to last the whole game and more. We were doing it last year. So obviously we're having a battery issue. I'm gonna order a new battery, but it doesn't really fucking matter for this boring ass game. If this goes to overtime, I gotta say, I think I'm gonna fold.
Yeah, we'll see. Is there any way we can go just camera on the?
Yeah, we could do.
We could go camera on the, just right on the chin of the. Yeah, there we go. Going camera right on the chin of a MacBook. Folks, nothing like a MacBook, but nothing like a Hewitt Packard back in the day. Shout out to HP. Shout out to HP, JP. How you doing, folks? Again, right now we are bringing you coverage from the Boston Bruins and the LA Kings. Skating at one aside right now as David Pastrnak shows signs of legs. I have not seen legs like that since Magic City last weekend. David Pastrnak finally skating a little bit. You like to skate, especially when you're making roughly 12 and a hook, Rob. Jeremy Swayman, there's not much he can do right now for the fellas other than make the odd save, and that'll go for icing as we'll line up in the Boston Bruins defensive zone. What an absolute shitburger of a game. Again, we thought it would be decent just based on these two teams.
This is my fault.
The matinee, well, it's nobody's fault. We can't control anything.
Yeah, I thought this game or Wings Nashville would have been good. I for the first time in my life, and it's not just because I'm going to Nashville next week, I'm actually curious how Nashville is going to do. I really, really like their roster. And I think I've always had a soft spot for the Wings because Datsuk was one of my favorite players. So I followed the Wings growing up, no matter who was on the roster, obviously in the Datsuk Zetterberg era. So I've always had a little soft spot for them. And we have a couple of buddies on that team too. So I want to see them do well.
Yeah, great jersey, number one, the winged wheel. Obviously, an original six club, Stevie Y at the helm, the Illich family. I mean, they've always done things right there. It's a first-class organization. Now they have guys like Vladimir Tarasenko, but more importantly, Patty Kane showed time alone on the team. Christian Fischer, he will be using a white stick, and he will be mucking it up accordingly. Shout out to Fishy. He's a good dude. So, yeah, I like the Wings. I think there's high hopes in Nashville. I am a little hesitant on how they're all going to mesh together. Are they for real? Or are they? I know they're a playoff team, but are they a legit contender, or are they more of a, pretender? We'll see on that front. But I do think they're going to be one of the top teams in the Central Division. Obviously, at least a top three team securing a playoff position. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I think Nashville has always been one of those teams that's considered a mid-market, mid-major type team, but now they went out and kind of opened up the checkbooks with Barry Trotz as Andrew Peeke goes jamming into the boards and takes out a LA King forward, and I believe that was Trevor Lewis, number 61. Folks, again, 8:28, not a lot going on. We have 5 shots aside this period for both teams. I have a hard time believing they even have 5 shots, Rob, but
yeah.
You know what? That's
going to be a trip.
No.
And Marchand's going to bitch at the ref for that, as he should. That's definitely a trip. Who scores the next goal? I don't know, man. I think it's going to be Boston somehow, just because I'm biased. And I'm going to say, I don't know, man. No one's skating well. I really don't know. I actually don't. I don't think anyone's ever going to score for the rest of this game. It's going to go to a shootout. Yeah,
I would tend to agree with that. Just the way this game is trending, 7 minutes to play. I mean, obviously, after they scored that goal in the end of the second, I think we knew probably the next goal would win just based on how brutal the game this is. This is one of those games that's just Mista, get me out of here. as Zadorov exchanged blows with Tanner Janot. Tanner Janot rocking a little bit of a welding shield. Big Z, I believe, rocks a 8 3/4 fitted hat if he goes to lids. No helmet, just like Jesse Pugliarvi fits his coconut. Folks, we're going to go to a commercial break over here at Hockey Night in Scottsdale. We're grinding through it for the people, by the people, as Uncle Sam said, and the Colonel Sanders, the late, great Colonel Sanders. Well, I'm too drunk to taste this chicken because this, my God, ain't perfect.
The left screen is the dead camera battery, so I'm just leaving it up for now because we're using the mic on the left side and the camera on the right side. I literally turn off games if it goes to a shootout. A game went to a shootout the other night, and the announcers were commenting. Oh, actually, it was last night. It was the Canucks and the Flyers, and the announcers were like, two guys went, and they were like, well, there's two shootout attempts that you'll never see in a real game because they went out wide and they came in really slow. A lot of those old school guys, they absolutely hate when players kind of troll the goalie like that because it's not really realistic in the regular game. Kind of with them on that. I don't like that the shootout decides the extra point. Yeah. Thoughts on Leah Hextall? I have no thoughts on her at all. I think, obviously the play-by-play didn't work out for her. I'm not a hater. I just think that wasn't the move. She's better in the role she's in now. And, no other comments in regards to that. Somebody just said, big titty Latina Cabo. Yep, I like whatever you're saying. I enjoy that. Swish, when are you rocking your IFK jersey next time in a podcast?
Yanni Ricola calling in from the Chin, I believe, somewhere outside of Helsinki, I'd imagine. Not sure. I have my IFK jerseys actually at my parents' place in Madison, Wisconsin. So I do have two of those, brother, but yeah, I'm not sure. The good thing about a European jersey is there's no shortage of ad reads on those things. I mean, those things are built up like a goddamn billboard. So shout out to IFK. Shout out to the good people of Helsinki. What a spot Finland is. I love it there. So, folks, again, if you're drinking tonight like a Finn, well, they drink like sailors, Rob.
That was a crazy missed trip right there. Janot, isn't it crazy that he scored 21 goals a couple years ago and since then just not even come close to it? Like, it's not funny,
bucks,
but it's like,
yeah.
Damn.
I mean, $50 says you can't do it again. I don't think he can. He wants to be an astronaut one day. I don't think he can do it. Folks, right now, 7:22 remaining in the final frame. Shots don't matter at this point because we need goals, and there haven't been a ton of shots. There hasn't been a ton of anything, if we're going to be honest. Just a little bit of a Saturday sleeper to get you through in onto college football and ultimately to your NFL Sunday. Folks, again, right now, if you're following along, we thank you for staying with us. Hockey Night Scottsdale tries to bring you colorful coverage you can't get anywhere else on the face of the fucking earth.
Thoughts on the Kings rebrand? We like the jersey. Swish, any update on Sweatgate?
You know what? The crazy thing is I don't know if this is going to end up being a long tangent, but we were sitting there the other day actually editing our video for Edmonton, our footage during the Stanley Cup final that will be released on Monday. So be sure to check that out on our YouTube page, Hockey Night Scottsdale, obviously on Instagram. Heat Daddy will be throwing it out there on his Twitter, and as well as Bobby W. Gucci on Instagram. Myself, Jay Swish, we'll be doing the same. But we were sitting there chopping it up with our video guys. Shout out to Sam. I'm not sure if he wants me to say his last name, but shout out to Sam. We were sitting there, and we actually ran into the little gremlin because we were in the conference room at my building. And you know what? We made eye contact. She walked away, as she always does, late night, went and grabbed a coffee, and then walked back. And you know what? I gave her a wave. You know why? Because we made up. She came up to me, and I think she finally mustered up enough courage to come out to my chin about 2 weeks ago. And you know what? Said, I apologize. I was in a bad place, this and that. And ultimately, I accepted her apology. I said, you know what? I did think that was a little uncalled for, first of all. What you did was a little unacceptable. I thought you kind of blew up a thing that was a little bit, not politely putting it, insane. You kind of accused me of doing some things that weren't true. And you know what? She said, you know what? I was sorry. I apologize. We're going to have another power play here. And you know what? I think she was just in a bad spot. I think she went and probably saw a knockoff Dr. Phil. I think she probably worked through seeing a man in his early 30s sweating. And you know what? All is good. I've seen her a few times. She smiles at me. She still looks like a character from Bug's Life, but that is besides the point. And yeah, man, Sweatgate lives on. Sweatgate lives strong. And I've been sweating in there, been cleaned up my mess like a good tenant would. And it's kind of funny that we are on a waiving basis now. So, folks, life's too short to hold grudges. Life moves fast. Bury it. Move on. At the end of the day, sweating is not that big of a deal.
That was a bad call right there. LA Kings defenseman, hold on to your stick. Pasternak, that wasn't a slash. It's a bad call. I'm serious. If this goes to OT, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, we'll stay with it, folks. Hopefully we have a goal here. And at the end of the day, I don't think even OT we're missing much. But speaking of missing, well, these guys have been missing a ton on their power play chances. You like to think you can maybe get one capitalized here from the LA Kings. Obviously, right now, Darcy Kuemper lays that puck back carefully for Brent Clark as he skates up, plays a little bank play to the captain of over 1,300 matches, Anze Kopitar, the 87-born product out of Slovenia. Holy fuck, folks, we're trying to talk through it. Marchand, come on, fella. Take that to the cage.
No one's there. Pete Daddy, who is your NHL comparison? Honestly, I think I'm a David Perron. I'm not the fastest guy, but I know the game. I can get it tape to tape. And yeah, I think I'm a David Perron, to be honest with you.
And I'm not afraid to do a little bit something criminal like Perron. As we have another 2-on-2 developed as Brad Marchand plays a puck right into the stick of Brent Clark. And we will get a good look here at the LA Kings. Second unit as Quentin Byfield skating like he took a hit of PCP. In and around the Boston Bruins blue line. That puck is carefully played up to Jordan Spence. He sends it in along the wall as he tries to get it to Quentin Byfield, bypassing a couple of Boston Bruins defenders. Backdoor fella. Oh, my God.
Good pass. Good save.
4:40 remaining, 25 odd seconds left here in the power play for the LA Kings as they got their best chance there. On a little bit of a backdoor look. Backdoor, back patio. Does your girl have either? Because I want to know did he come in both. Folks, again, 8 seconds remaining on the power play. 1-1. LA with a couple, I would say, grade B looks on Jeremy Swayman as Phil, low and slow to know, plays a puck and turns it over to Hampus Lindholm as Trent Frederick. He loses a LA forechecker. Folks, again, right now, this game, not perfect.
Thoughts on MTU having the best tarps in the NCAA program straight out of the chin of UP? I don't know what any of that means.
Michigan Tech.
Oh, Michigan Tech.
The Huskies. Speaking of Husky women, you'll find some up in Houghton. A lot of character up there. A lot of guys that drink whiskey and get angry after the hours of 11 p.m. But nonetheless, man, a lot of gray days, but a lot of good people up there. And I think the name Petola and Hedela, I think there's about 500 odd cousins up there, and every person has that last name. I don't know if they bang each other, but good on them if they do. Keep it in-house, keep it in the family. That is how all good businesses start. Folks, right now, like we said, we're grinding through this. The Energizer Bunny is nowhere to be found. Just a couple of middle-aged assholes trying to bring you coverage you can't find anywhere else. And a complete dog shit effort from both teams in the National Hockey League.
I mean, it really is. This is a terrible game.
Kyle Burrows plays one in along his feet as Justin Brazzers is able to kind of hijack the puck.
Shout out to Brazzers. They actually follow me on Twitter. I don't know why. The admin must be a fan. That's hilarious, though.
That was actually Castle Wrench. But anyways, we're going to get
a
penalty from Quinton. I tinted my visor because I thought it looked cool. Byfield. This has been – how many minor penalties I've been – least 5 on each side, I would say.
Yeah,
It's
it's been a lot
crazy.
of penalties. This is it for Boston. It's going to be a Pasternak goal. Anyone else got anything in the chat? We're kind of Jimmy rigging this thing as the camera died. But now we know that the battery's shot. So a couple games in the season, got to figure things out.
Yep.
We got a new setup.
Get that power play together, Reg. We're working on it. Folks, do you have any closing remarks? As I'm not sure, are going to make it to OT. We have a very important tennis match to be played over the chin over here. So, folks, again, low and slow, Hockey Night in Scottsdale, trying to give you different looks at a very, very putrid game. Is there any good college football games today?
I didn't even look, actually. Ever since hockey comes on, I always forget about the other sports.
I know. I'm gonna look right now. I think there was Oregon, and someone playing.
What game are you guys eyeing for the next Altcast? We're not sure yet. We kind of just go by the storyline of the week, and is there a storyline we need to follow, or players hitting milestones, or rivals? So we never really know until a couple days before. So we're not sure yet.
We got Texas, Oklahoma in the All-State Red River rivalry game coming up the chin in 4 minutes. We also have, let's see here, I believe Oregon's playing someone decent.
Ohio State, Oregon.
Yep. That is on NBC/Wrenchcock. That is at 4:30. Ole Miss, LSU. Like I pretend to care about any of these games. So, anyways, folks, the save of the game. Well, the save of the game should be Billie Eilish. Vegas should be thanking her, because I assume a lot of people bet the over in this one, and she kept the ice just dog shit for the boys today. And that ultimately probably left the group unenthused to really make anything happen.
I don't watch any racing, but I like Noah Gragson. Cool guy. Met him a couple times, and not a couple times, actually. It was one night, but went out with him and his boys, and they were really cool guys. So I pay attention to him a little bit, but I don't really get dialed into racing. I would love to go to a real-life racing event, though, like Talladega or something. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, Talladega, the night fight in Bristol. I mean, that's in the backwoods of Tennessee, right on the West Virginia border. That's moonshine and prescription drugs. Speaking of prescription drugs, I might have to call my general practitioner after this and get a prescription of low-grade Percocets, because this one needs a little bit of numbing after. I'm going to unthaw after this, folks, like taking a ribeye out of the fridge. Anyways, 2:20 left remaining if you're following along. 1:19 as we can see if the Bruins can get this thing done in regulation time for the fellas. That would be the only further thing that would happen during this entire cast of a disgrace of ice hockey. Come on, boys. Zaka, find it. He just took a wrist shot at Joel Edmondson's lower lumbar spine. Crazy that didn't get through. Crazy it didn't work out. Like getting engaged after 2 weeks of knowing someone. I can't believe that marriage didn't work out. I can't believe that pass didn't work out. From the Czech fella, Pavel Zaka. 38 seconds left, folks, in the power play. 1:37 remaining in the game. That is regulation time. Again, thank you for tuning in with Hockey Night in Scottsdale. Not the most exhilarating game we've ever done, but as Anze Kopitar is in slow motion, like a juvenile song, he gets that puck over to Juice Kempe, and wait, hold on here. We might have a 3-on-2. Poitras, finally.
He'll shoot into someone's stick.
Ooh. Frederick getting power play time. Who would have thought?
How many block shots have been in this game?
I don't know. Oh, cheeky geeky. Folks, again, we're coming down to the final 45 seconds left here as Charlie McAvoy collects a D-to-D pass from Nikita Zadorov. He takes it in along the wall, gets to the middle of the ice, and tries to get it over to Hasselek, but it was not connected. McAvoy down the wall. Folks, Beecher not able to play a little bit of a burger. And you know what? This game is going to end just how we thought it would. Probably in the 19th round of a shootout. We might be here till 4 p.m.
This game has been so bad. This might actually be the worst game we've ever done. And we've done, what, 40 of these?
At least.
Like, this was just a disgraceful game. I don't know if I'm going to watch the Bruins or the Kings for a long time after this. I mean, this is trash. I don't even know what to say.
No, I'm out of words.
Do we do the 5 minutes here? Or, like, this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, how many people we got in here?
We got people in here.
I mean, we'll do OT. If it goes to a fucking shootout, we're out. How about that?
All right. I really don't want to watch 5 more minutes of this shitty game.
Right.
We'll do
Leave.
it for the people, though.
Folks, again, like, talk to us. Like, entertain us. We need some help here. What are we up to today? What do we got going? What's going on in a matinee shift, wherever the hell you are? It's still 100-odd degrees here in Scottsdale. Obviously, we're going to go sweat it out on the hard courts here afterwards. But what are the people doing? What are you getting up to out there? Boys over here, obviously, 10 a.m. across your jaw for us. So I had to get our notes ready and prepared. Actually, didn't even fucking drink last night, which is pretty good. The boys are, you know,
Boys are dialed.
we're hungry, baby. Keep it going, Bay Jaws said. Is that a hybrid mix of Baywatch and Jaws had a kid? Everybody's fucking. It is Saturday, folks. That's what happens. Wrap your wrench. Go Johnny Raw Dog. Whatever you want to do, because it's time to start fucking. Speaking of fucking, hopefully someone fucking scores here as we get into the overtime hour. 60 minutes wasn't enough. So we're going to do 5 more minutes or however long it takes. Hopefully something just shy of 5 minutes. I'm going to go with Pasternak somehow going to score. That's why they paid this guy the big bucks. He didn't do anything the whole game. But you just collect one of those goals that you remember, you don't even remember as the season gets going. It's mid-February. You have 50. And you're like, oh, yeah, remember that goal I had in game 2? Well, that's in overtime. Remember those 40 rebounds against the Amigos? No, because I don't. Jackie Moon once said that, folks. Nothing in the rule book that says you can't play drunk, and I think some guys tonight or today might have been doing so.
Any more side content? I'm just gonna read the comments or play the comments because this game sucks. Any more side content upcoming on the channel? The tennis one was great. Thank you. Yeah, Camelback Open is out on YouTube. We got Edmonton coming up next. Actually, this upcoming Monday, we're gonna drop a vlog. It's just our 24 hours in Edmonton. After that, we might have a 2-on-1 Zaka and McAvoy, and nothing happens, just like this entire game. But yeah, we're gonna have a couple podcasts a week that'll be live on the channel, and then we have oh my god,
Gypsy.
oh, and then we're gonna have that Edmonton video out on Monday. Thank you for watching. We appreciate that.
Yeah, as we had our 2 of the most exciting, exhilarating moments right there. Little dipsy do from Quentin Byfield and Zaka with a decent chance. Right before that, as we get a look at David Pasternak, who scored 60-odd goals in the league. Again, right now, hopefully something will open up.
I would bet my house, I would bet anything I own that this is going to go to a shootout.
Yep, I think you're right, but I'm hoping you're wrong. Laferriere, fucking get off the fucking cheat fella. As Anze Kopitar carefully surveys his options, allows his guys to go for a change as a good veteran he is. And Trevor Moore plays the puck back to the captain out of Slovenia. And I'm sure he'll get off the ice because he needs a little bit of oxygen. Again, folks, following along right now. Not a ton going on. There's not going to be a ton going on when you got a Russian defenseman with 2 back.
Play it.
Lowering his shoulder like a Dodge Ram, going into a haystack. Again, probably not the play there if you're a Russian defenseman, but nonetheless, you got the whistle, fella. Good job, buddy. Ooh, good look there. A little toe suck might have worked. And Byfield, ooh, good edges. Beat Pasta like a rented mule.
Swayman's look good.
Yeah, look, he's look just what he's needed to look. Just calm, cool, collected, 8 and a hook a year, getting it done. As we get a look here at Lindy Zaka and Chucky McAvoy skating for LA Kings. Philly low and slow to no. Trevor Moore, and I hope they took that Gargioff guy off the sheet because, again, he has 2 back, which they did. Clarkey going there. Okay, come on, pass it back. That's not going to work. Did they not read the scouting report? Kemper has a quick chest. It's one of the best things about his game is he uses those B cups to his advantage. He has a very quick set of tits. Hate to say it, I kind of miss Jack Edwards. Just I kind of miss listening to that dipshit talk.
Yeah, I don't like him, but it is entertaining with how ridiculous he is. So that's the story of the game so far, man. Yeah, we thought Pasternak would get one here. But yeah, it was entertaining listening to how ridiculous he was. I hated him when I was in college. I couldn't stand it. But then you learn to laugh at it. So learning to hate it. Pasternak, all right. This is I'm serious. I put everything in my name on that this goes to a shootout. I mean, this game has sucked. You called it.
Pasta.
And I lost everything.
You knew he was going to talk. I mean, the guy, that's why you pay him, right? What a pass by Mason Lohrei, though. Absolute dish. Good finish along the ice again. Kemper got beat twice today. Right along the river, we call that, folks. Stevie Weeks, have you been skating the river? Little Mystery Alaska reference for the people watching. And all the people of Boston can go home drunk, happy, and a little bit high because, my God, that was a goddamn sleeper.
That game sucked.
Kickstart my heart. Folks, again, we went live from the chin of the studio over here, and holy fuck. Well, let's watch this play develop. Lohrei with a nice little play up to Pasta or Postris, who sends it rink wide to Pasta, drops it off. Drop it like it's hot over to Lohrei. Bang, bang, shrimp. Find the wickets. Goal scores goal. A little Fot Trox nicks in there from Pasta as he skates up the wall and celebrates with the good people of Boston. But right along the ice, fella. God damn it. Those are goal scores goals.
Nice play. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Zekamos, thank you for joining the chat. We will be back. We'll have this camera situation figured out for the entirety of the game. I couldn't sign off fast enough from this game. Not the chat, not you guys. Nothing to do with you. This game has just sucked. But all right, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, folks. Woo!